Sis, let me start this season by telling you a truth most people can't handle. You were never meant to survive on strength. The world sat and applauded your resilience, but nobody taught you that resilience is what you need and use when you don't feel safe enough to rest. Our bodies are not meant to operate in emergency mode. Our hearts aren't meant to live in self sacrifice, and our souls were not designed for the strong woman script. This season is where you stop surviving your life and start living and thriving in it. Welcome to your season of yes. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Secret Formula of Femininity for women who want to live a more feminine, fun, and fabulous life. I'm Dr. Nicole Monteiro, your host on this weekly journey to unlocking your inner radiance, nurturing fulfilling relationships, and becoming the best version of yourself. Welcome back to the Secret Formula of Femininity, where we help women reclaim softness, boundaries, emotional safety, and relationships that feel like home. I'm Dr. Nicole, your host and guide on this journey to tapping into your feminine essence. As you know, I'm a psychologist, wife, mom, and feminine energy strategist. Today, we are starting season 3, ushering in a new era. Not just for the podcast, not just for your relationships, but for your entire life. Season 3 is about the return to the woman you were before the world hardened you. The woman beneath all the pressure that you're feeling, all of the performance, all of the I got this, I'm independent, I have to put up this mask. This is the season where you reclaim your yes. Just like Shonda told us, it's the year of yes. This is your season of yes for the rest of your life. And I want to tell you a story about how many other women, just like you and I, actually start to outsource their yes, or they realize that they've been outsourcing their yes for too long. It doesn't happen, at least for me, it didn't happen on a beach. It didn't happen during meditation. It didn't happen on vacation or in therapy. It happened for me in random places. One time I was sitting with my daughter while she was crying. One time a client had just told me how I helped to change their life. One time I was just in the kitchen on a random Tuesday afternoon. I remember that one. And I was cleaning up messes that I thought everybody was leaving. I was answering emails on my phone. I was multitasking. I was still trying to put dinner together, and the kids needed my attention. My brain was all over the place. And I've heard this from so many women as well. My daughter walked in and said, "Mommy, can you play with me?" And she was a little tiny tot at that time, the time where they love to play. They love to just have you giggle and act silly. They don't care if you have flour all over your face or all over the floor. They just want to play. And without thinking, when she asked me, I said, "Not right now." And here's the thing. She walked away. She didn't pout or anything. She was just like, okay. And I realized in that moment, I could have said yes. I could have played. There was nothing stopping me. All of that stuff could have waited. My little girl wanted to just engage with me. And the sad thing is she didn't put up a fight. So that made me ask, how many times have I told her no? And until she just got used to it, that mommy's not the one to have fun with. And what I realized is that I didn't have anything left in me to play. One of the most important things that I tell everybody, you have to engage with your kids and play with them and be playful and have time for yourself. I didn't even have time or anything left to give myself. That moment hit me like a truth bomb. And I realized I was giving my yes away everywhere and to everyone except where it was needed most. Yes to all of the numerous obligations that I felt I had. Yes to everybody else's emergencies or urgent issues. Yes to the identity of being the one who's strong and competent and responsible. We carry that burden, ladies. And also, there was a little bit of ego in it that I had to admit. It was saying yes to being needed. That was the role of an emotional caretaker, and it wasn't so healthy. And finally, I realized when it came to what I needed, rest, fun, pleasure, slowing down, so getting support myself, feeling connected, my yes was bankrupt. It was empty. And then the next thought came to me. It was real sharp, and I thought to myself, I'm not burnt out because I'm weak. I'm burnt out because I'm living in a way that women were not built to live. We were sold a bad bill of goods, as they say. We were told we could do it all. When I was growing up, there was a commercial that the woman said, I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan. And it was like you were supposed to do it all. But we were not built to live that way. Women don't burn out from doing too much. Women burn out from doing too much of what absolutely drains them. And that was the crack in the armor that I needed. It was the moment I decided I'm taking my yeses back, I'm reclaiming them. And this is what started my season of softness, alignment, and truth. And it has never stopped. And this is what I want this season to be for all of us. I want us to pause and breathe and just let these truths sink in. These are truths that nobody will tell you. They actually will tell you the opposite, but just let them sink in. Truth number one, softness didn't make you tired. Pretending you don't need softness is what made you tired. That's right. It wasn't because you were leaned into your femininity and your soft era that all of a sudden things fell apart. It was pretending that you didn't need that softness, that you didn't need that rest, that you didn't need to be held and supported and given time to really, as we say, rest in our femininity. That was what broke you. That was what made you tired. Truth number two, if saying yes is costing you peace, it was never a yes in the first place. It was self-abandonment. That's right. That resentment that grows when you say yes, that is far more damaging than any guilt or anything else you might feel when you say no. The no is what's going to protect you later on down the line. You just have to be okay with some of that discomfort in the beginning. And actually, as you get more used to it, that discomfort is going to go away. But that yes that you really don't want, that's costing you everything, it's not just costing you your peace in the moment, it's costing you your health and your well-being over the long term. Truth number three, femininity is not fragile at all. Can we please put this myth down? What's fragile is your burnout. What's fragile is you being drained and pushed to the limit and having to keep up a mask. Your femininity helps you to embody connection to what you're feeling, to what your body needs, to your intuition, that inner gut. It's a holistic way of being. Your burnout is what fragments you and puts you into these different sections, and you're pulled in all different kinds of directions. And that's what's really fragile. Truth number four, if you have to harden yourself to survive your life, that life is too small for you. You're trying to survive something that, quite frankly, you've probably outgrown even long ago as a child. So we keep talking about how we have to be hard. Well, we have to be hard for a certain type of life that is only keeping us in survival. But I want you to think a little bit bigger outside of the box. What would a life look like if you had help? If you didn't have to do it all, if you communicated what you needed, if you were able to tell everybody that you can't do it all and that they need to step up, what would that life look like? What would a life look like where you were able to attract more abundance and wealth because you were able to use your skills, your intuition, those talents you have that help you to connect to others in order to build the wealth that you're looking for, in order to acquire more of the things that would make your life feel softer and make you feel more at ease. Truth number five. This is one that people do not like to hear. Strong women break too. They just do it in private, and that's the saddest part because people don't see until they've gotten to the edge, until we hear some tragic story about someone who has completely broken down. Sometimes their health fails, their mental health, their emotional health, their relationships fall apart, and each individual strong woman is just breaking in private. And they don't know that other strong women who come out looking beautiful, that they're breaking in private as well. As they say, for us women, black don't crack, but the internal organs are cracking. We might not age on the outside, but on the inside, we are falling apart. And our health is taking the toll and paying the price for all of the yeses that we never meant. Truth number six, we may very well be the first generation of women who are trying to be soft and successful without a blueprint. We're trying to do something that we feel has never been done. But what I would say is there is a blueprint. We might have to adapt it a little bit, but it starts with tapping into the women who have been able to be soft. That's the number one skill that you need. You can build success, you can build achievement, but if you're doing it from a hardened place, it's going to be on shaky grounds and it's going to be fragile. So I would say we think we're doing it without a blueprint, but we need to go back to the blueprint of the women before us. One thing that has helped me so much is traveling and seeing women commune together, take afternoon tea, take naps, put their feet up, cook together, spend time together, dance and play together. And then they have energy. They incorporate the kids into it. And then they have energy after the men are out doing what they're doing and communing with their male counterparts. When they come together, they are in a healthy place of their femininity and their masculinity. But we have lost touch with all of that way of being. Even me saying it might rub some people the wrong way because they're like, that's just not practical. But you have to create and sometimes recreate the environment to be able to become the woman that you want to become. So that looks like, what are your rituals like in the morning? Who are you connecting with? Who is your circle and tribe of women? It doesn't matter how small it is. How are you reconnecting with them for positive feminine energy? How are you learning to communicate and allowing the healthy masculine to step up and protect and provide for you without feeling like it makes you too vulnerable? And speaking of vulnerability, how are you able to allow yourself to be vulnerable and know that it's not going to break you? What's really breaking you and what has broken so many women like us before us is that idea of being hardened and thinking that that is going to be the protection. So, for all of season 3, we are building a new blueprint for being soft and successful. I talked a little bit about it in the previous episode. It was a soft launch where I talked about my pre-diabetes story and how I reset myself with my soft health method. But we're going to go deeper. What does this look like in our relationships in terms of enjoying the passions that would make us feel invigorated, in terms of taking care of ourselves, our skin, our bodies, our health, our weight? Yes, ladies, we have to talk about all of those things and how to upgrade in each and every domain. So, this season and this blueprint is about creating the yes version of you, the one that doesn't feel empty because she's given out all of her yeses, but who is able to be fulfilled because she has enough yeses left for her. Yes to boundaries that protect your feminine energy. Yes to relationships that rise to meet you. And we're going to get into some of the controversy around women rejecting men wholeheartedly, which I do not agree with. But I do agree with elevating yourself as a woman and making sure that you're attracting the caliber of person that you think is worthy of you. But you have to first rise to that. We're also saying yes to rest that repairs your nervous system. Yes to health that feels radiant, but not rigid, not where you're forcing yourself to do things, but you create a lifestyle that makes you healthier. You work out, you eat well, you take time to sleep. These are all things that you should be and you can say yes to. Another thing that's so important is learning how to say yes to communication that builds connection. Sometimes we get confused with boundaries where it's about pushing people away, shutting down, putting up walls, and that we feel that that's what protects us. That might be your initial stages as you're just trying to get your bearings, but the real blueprint is, how do you communicate in a way that connects you? Other yeses that we're going to tap into is yes to dropping the strong woman mask. We don't have to be hard. It's not about fighting. Sometimes surrender and submission is the most powerful thing you can do. Yes, I said it. Yes to a life where you don't have to numb your way through it. That's what being hard does. It says you don't have to feel what you feel. You just have to suck it up and just get through it every single time. And also, yes to feminine leadership, not masculine exhaustion. Feminine leadership says you know when your body needs to rest, when your mind and emotions need to rest. And also, yes to ease without guilt. Why do we feel bad when we delegate out, when we get somebody to come clean our house or do the yard or help with the landscaping, or we pay for a meal prep service, or we go get that extra massage or body scrub at I love going to the Korean spas and Japanese spas. Why do we feel guilty about that? But then we indulge in other mindless things that aren't healthy for us, spending hundreds of dollars on door dashing fast food that ultimately destroys our health, doing retail therapy on things that are cheap and that we don't even open the boxes sometimes. So the things that could really create ease for us, we end up feeling guilty about. And yes, to pleasure without apology, ladies. We're not just talking about femininity, we are living it. We are embodying it and we are intentionally choosing it. So if you're in a place where you want to continue to intentionally choose it, no matter how hard it is, there's going to be pressure. There are going to be times when you're pressured into doing one more favor for that person or self abandoning so you could get that ego boost of feeling needed, even though you're going to feel exhausted afterwards. There's going to be times when you're going to be tested, but knowing ahead of time that you want to choose femininity and rest and a regulated nervous system and embodying ease so that your body is functioning at the highest level and you have time to enjoy all of the pleasures versus using pleasures to numb yourself. When you're in that place of deciding that that's what you want, then you can intentionally choose it day after day. So let's get into some Q&A so I can answer some practical questions and give you some practical feedback about what it actually looks like to not just talk femininity, but to live it and to intentionally choose it. So the first question is, Dr. Nicole, can a high achieving woman really live a soft life? There's a lot of doubt and skepticism. I hear you. I understand. And the answer is yes, but she must stop confusing suffering with success. So many of us have been ingrained with this idea of not just doing it all, but of suffering, that there's this rite of passage we have to go through of suffering and being miserable and being exhausted. I need you to know that to live a soft life, you really have to stop confusing suffering with success. Suffering isn't realistic. Your exhaustion is what's realistic, and expecting that you'll push through is the unrealistic part. Question two is, will men take advantage of my softness? No, absolutely not. Well, let me qualify that. Only low quality men. And I thought we weren't doing that in 2025, 2026, ladies. I thought we were leaving the dusties and the low quality and the internet trolls alone. Those are the ones that would try to take advantage of your softness. But high value, truly high character value, emotionally mature, masculine men protect softness. They are attracted to softness because they see it as something that they want to protect and preserve because they understand the benefit that they get from it. So your softness isn't the problem, it's your screening process. You're letting any and everybody through. And then when these reckless people take advantage and try to destroy what you're trying to build, then you say, oh, it's not working. No, it's not that it's not working. It's your screening process that's not working. Question number three. Oh, you guys are getting good with this. It says, isn't femininity outdated? It's that 1950s idea that you guys have. No, it's not outdated. What's outdated is the belief that a woman must be exhausted to be valuable. Femininity is not old fashioned. What's passe is burnout, exhaustion, and needless suffering for no reason. Question number four. What if embracing femininity makes me lose my ambition? Ladies, no, it will not. I hear this so much, or variations of this, that we feel like we need that kind of pressure to keep us motivated. That only works short term. It's not your femininity that's going to make you lose your ambition. It's actually going to make your ambition sustainable. How do you think people persevere and keep going with their dreams and their desires and what they have intended for themselves, even when they don't see immediate results or gratification? It's that self belief, it's that self regulation, it's that sense of ease within themselves. Otherwise, they're just looking for the next dopamine hit that's going to then end up in burnout. So it's not the femininity that makes you lose your ambition, it's the burnout and the exhaustion. And the femininity actually makes it sustainable so that it manifests and comes to fruition. Because the bottom line is, femininity doesn't kill drive, it kills the burnout. Question number five, and this is a great way to wrap up the Q&A. What is the first thing I should say yes to this season? I have one word for you: yourself. Learn to say yes to the woman you've been avoiding becoming. You've been avoiding what's needed to take off the superwoman cape, to let go of the need to be needed, to let go of suffering and exhaustion like it's a badge of honor. So, the first thing you need to say yes to is the vision of the woman that you see for yourself. We talk about vision boards. I have literally created a vision of what I look like when I'm in my most at ease, rested, embodied, feminine self. For me, I'm on the beach. I have my beautiful caftan on. I have a nice fresh juice. I'm looking at the waves. I hear my kids in the background. My hubby walks up, and I am just basking in the sun, in the sound of the waves, and what it feels like to just be in the present. And it might look like something else for you, but you need to tap into that and say yes to the fact that that version of you is possible. The one thing I need you to understand, sis, is that your yes is sacred. Your yes is your currency, and your yes can be your new identity. From now on, you do not hand out your yeses like candy, because when we do that, we get so stuck into what do we have to say no to. Think about what you need to say yes to for yourself. So instead of giving it like candy, you give that yes like a key to the people, places, habits, and relationships that deserve access to you. Let this be your turning point. Last episode, I told you about my turning point. Think about what is going to cause this moment to be your turning point, your unveiling, so to speak, your return. This is the season of yes for you. And softness is your new success strategy. That's what's going to take you there. If this episode lit something inside of you, if you felt seen, understood, or challenged in a good way, I want you to share this episode. I want you to send it to a woman that you want to see win, because the more women that are winning, the more women you have to choose from to be in your circle. And join the Boundaries to Bliss Bootcamp waitlist so you can be part of the next cohort of women. This is where we learn to set boundaries without that burden of guilt, where we attract healthier, higher tier relationships, where we communicate in our feminine and release the hustle culture. We learn to live soft, not stressed, and build a life that loves us back so that we're not in the mode of feeling like we have to prove ourselves in order to be worthy of love, affection, protection, attention, ease, or anything else that we want for ourselves. Click the link in the show notes so that you can get on the wait list. Let's say yes together. And also, I'm doing a 100-day challenge on my YouTube channel, one video per day for the next 100 days. Boundaries, soft life rituals, dating and marriage, reactions to viral videos. We have it all. And it's a great way to stay tuned in between episodes so that you're not falling off track for what you need to stay motivated during your season of yes. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so excited about season 3. I will see you in the next episode. I'm Dr. Nicole.